So I want to talk to you guys a little bit about some cheaper chest rig alternatives and what I think is a good economic solution to getting in a kit if you are looking to have a support system for your rifle and some of your sustainment equipment, but you can't necessarily afford some of the high end fancy fucking gear that's out there, like the Spirited stuff or whatever. Some of the stuff I actually prefer to run myself, but I'm going to try and show you guys some rigs that have a little bit better value comparatively. So the first one we'll take a look at, this is just kind of a generic idea, but this is one of my favorite rigs. This is an Eagle Industries Rhodesian Recon vest in olive drab. This is an older one. It's got some wear on it. However, the point of me showing you guys this is it's a bomb-proof chest rig. It holds a ton of stuff, and I've used this for years and years. I used to use an ACU one when I was in the military. They're just good frickin' rigs that are robust and rugged and will do all the same stuff the new fancy rigs do. However, this was like $70 on eBay. You can find these pretty cheap on the secondhand market these days. And as you can see for pouches, a good way to save on pouches is to use all these Specialty Defense Systems issue pouches. Are they perfect? No, but they're also not bad. They're well built. A lot of them have buckle closure, and the closed top mag pouches are decent, and they will do what you need them to do. You can also get Eagle Industries mag pouches pretty cheap on the secondhand market as well. Scour eBay, scour websites like TaxSwap, different forums, Army Navy stores, but I would highly suggest going with a rig like this old Eagle Industries Rhodesian. And if you can find the back plate carrier for it, it will also carry plates. However, if you're a citizen and you're just looking for something to run with a rifle and your primary concern is holding mags and sustainment equipment and you plan on being in a woodland environment or whatever, I would get a chest rig before I get a plate carrier. I just think it's more versatile and more useful for most of our purposes. But that being said, Eagle has plenty of surplus plate carriers that are pretty good quality too that you can get relatively affordably. But just to give you guys a quick overview, I have a couple grenade pouches on there. I usually hold like a compass and a headlamp and stuff like that in them. Saw pouch I use for utility. This is an issue med pouch from back in the day. 3 Specialty Defense Systems double magazine pouches, and a canteen pouch that I actually do use for a canteen, because I think it's important that every piece of kit you be able to hold water, medical supplies, and general purpose items like land nav equipment, Leatherman gloves, and different tools that will help you accomplish the mission. I think people with this whole micro rig thing are getting way too obsessed with the direct action side of whatever, when most of us are going to be in the woods most of the time and have to carry more equipment than is conducive for a small rig. So this is a good budget option if it's something that you're looking for. It doesn't necessarily have to be the RRV or the Rhodesian, but old Eagle issue kit. This one is from the RLCS, I believe, the old Ranger Regiment issue shit. There's an SF LCS, and I also still have my ACU one that I'll dig out here in a minute. But don't be afraid to buy ACU gear because you can RIT dye it or cryo on it. I still have to spray paint mine, but if you can get an ACU RRV or an ACU chest rig like pretty cheap, spend the $75 on it and just fucking spray paint it green. It does the same thing. So give me a second. I'll grab a couple other rigs and kind of give you a rundown of some other budget options. All right. I found this. This is my old ACU RRV set up for an M1A right now. Obviously, it's not fully set up. It's missing a lot of pouches. I can do a review on these RRVs if you want. But, yeah, I got this for, like, I don't know, less than $100 when I was still in. And did what I needed it to do. It's a good rig. I plan on spray painting it in the future. So while we're on the standard issue kick, as far as ACU gear goes. These Flicks Fighting Load Carrier, you can pick these up for dirt cheap on eBay, or again, like anywhere in the secondhand market. This particular one is the ACU one that I was issued, and it's got the chest rig mod done to it, where you basically flip it around, cut the belt, and do all that. They sell these in a variety of different colors. I have a Woodland BDU one somewhere that was like $7. But as you can see, it can hold a ton of mags. I'll put in a picture of this fully loaded out, but it holds a ton of stuff. It's comfortable enough when you do this modification to it, and it'll get you by, and they're pretty cheap. You can get them pretty inexpensively on the secondhand market if you just need something that's going to carry kit for you. Remember, guys, we're just trying to carry ammunition, water, and sustainment equipment for the field. So, you know, you're not going to win any fashion contests in this stuff, but it's cheap, it's durable, and it'll hold up. I spent a lot of time in the field wearing one of those. It was perfectly fine. I could do everything I can do now with fancier kit. Already did a video on these. This is a Chicom 4-cell Type 56 AK rig. Did a modification where I added some buckles and taped it off. This was like 20 bucks on Amazon. Holds 4 AK mags. You can put M16 mags in there too. And it's got 4 little sustainment pockets on either end. Tons of stuff you can do to these. They're cheap, they're affordable, and they're well built. They're rugged. So that's another good option for you. This right here is a Faraday Sons chest rig. It's a reproduction. I forget who makes this one, but this is my second one of these. The first one was from a different company on Amazon. It was from warreplica.com or something, and their pouches fucking sucked. All these little buckles, the button snaps actually ripped off on them. But on this one, I haven't had the same issue. I've used it, not a ton, but I'm probably a half dozen range trips doing reloads and stuff with the FAL. It's decently comfortable. You know, it's got canvas straps. The whole rig is like a wax canvas. Holds 4 magazines, and you can mount something with like Alice clips or whatever on either side. They also sell one that's got pouches on the sides too. This is kind of the traditional Faraday Sons rig. It was like 20 bucks, and it's good quality. So again, another cheap option. You can run AR mags in this if you had to too. AR 308 mags, whatever you got. Kind of on the vein of surplus pouches. This is a standard issue saw pouch, and then we got a couple Eagle Industries SFL CS pouches, and an old pouch from an Air Force sear vest mounted on an HSGI little micro chest rig. But I've run this a lot too. As you can tell, the pouches are all fucking beat up, but these pouches hold up really well, and they're cheaper than buying new pouches. If you just want something that'll hold your shit, and you're on a budget, and you don't want to spend $100 for a triple mag pouch or something from like Tac Taylor or whatever, these are definitely worth the money. Again, eBay, surplus stores. Whatever, poke around, you can find it. And lastly, one other thing I have that's a good option if you're on the market for cheap gear and you want to buy a lot of it, or you just want an H harness rig or something that's got a little more sustainment capability than a chest rig, is your typical this one's the LC2 Alice gear with the Y shoulder straps, and right now I have it set up to run an M1A, and as you can see, this belt gives me the ability to carry 6 magazines 12 magazines with those, 2 canteens with canteen cups, and a butt pack full of sustainment gear. And I also have the little first aid / compass pouch with some survival equipment in it. And it's relatively low profile. I've modified it a little bit with some paracord and different things off of the old Vietnam manuals, make it a little more comfortable. But this stuff's cheap, it's rugged, it holds up, and it'll get you through doing whatever you need it to do. So, yeah, just some options, guys. If you're on the market for kit, or even if you just want backup gear for members of your family or whatever, you don't have to buy 100 freaking Mayflower chest rigs or a whole bunch of fancy chest rigs. You can get plenty of stuff on the secondhand market that's not going to break the bank. All these rigs I showed you, minus the RRVs, are all like sub $50. Even the RRVs, you can get those under 100 if you shop around. If you're not afraid to buy them in ACU, you can find them for $75 all day. The RRVs have went up a little in price. Don't pay more than $150 for an RRV, because at that point, you're not getting the same value out of it that you would from buying like a barrel and hatchet chest rig or a Mayflower rig, or just a rig that's all molly. Me personally, I prefer a lot of the all molly rigs that I can configure how I want them a little bit easier, like the RVs or like the kind of older school Eagle chest rigs. That's predominantly what I run these days. But the new hotness is kind of all the placards and everything. But point being, you guys don't need to break the bank. So if you have any questions, let me know.